Look at that thing. It's 7:30 in the morning and the sun is just starting to come up in sunny Scotland. We're called out with Ploeger Farms and getting a look at a 4-row, I'm going to say Ploeger? I can't pronounce it. We'll have a fella coming later to explain a little bit about the machine to us. But 4 rows at the time, now, as far as I'm concerned, that's big. I think it's the only one in Scotland, so we're going to try and find out a little bit more about it and just basically enjoy what they do here best. Well everybody, we are still in Scotland and we've joined John from Agricar. John, Agricar sell New Hollands.
Yeah.
Not meaning to be disrespectful, but I don't see any New Hollands here. Now Gordon threw you under the bus here and said you'd come and talk to us. This big yellow and green machine that we have been, not the John Deere, the other yellow and green machine, we've been watching all day. So can you tell us a little bit about the machine, please?
Okay. Yeah, no problem. So it's basically a 4-row bunker harvester.
Now, how do you pronounce that? Ploeger?
Ploeger.
Ploeger?
Ploeger, yeah.
Because I've been struggling with this all day. Ploeger.
That's fine. It's Ploeger, it's Dutch. It's Dutch, so yeah. 4-row bunker harvester. It's approximately 550 horsepower engine in it.
Okay.
It's a Scania straight 6.
Scania?
Yeah, it's a Scania engine.
Already.
Beautiful.
That's us sold.
Aye,
I'll
really
take 2.
She has a double cleaning capacity inside her, so she will do what they call dormants, which are predominantly for taking out wet muck, followed by a multi-set following behind it, which then cleans up the potatoes, and so you get them into the boxes fresh and undamaged. She has, as you can see, a holding capacity for travelling when it's too wet. She will actually hold 14 tonne of potatoes in a maximum capacity. She's 4 metres wide, she's 4 metres tall.
Yeah, well, she'll have to be no more than 4 metres tall for that to come under European.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's almost 16 metres in length, and she weighs empty, she weighs 30 tonne. So by the time you put in 14 tonne and tatties in the earther, but you're looking at 45 tonne travel on the ground. And if you watch her on the ground with the double track system that she has on it, she doesn't mark the ground, she doesn't sink in, she stays on the top.
And there's a good steering on that track system.
Tremendous system, yeah. You have a rear steer and a front steer. The front steer has a good acute angle. The rear steer also has a degree, about 25-degree angle, which is controllable independently of the front. She's permanent 4-wheel drive, as you can imagine, because of the size of her. Well balanced, and he's unloading at the end, but he can unload on the move just as easy without any problems.
We've noticed that all morning. We were with him pretty much from sunrise. He was just in a slightly bigger field and maybe a little bit drier, and it was effortless.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, the benefit of that machine is when it gets wet and you've got wet holes in the field, you could just send the trailers away and just keep digging it. It'll go right through the wet. She'll dig all day long, and then when you get out to the other end of the wet patch, you can actually just put the trailer back under.
Mark, the pilot, He's pretty nifty fellow on her now.
That's a good lad,
He knows his way around that machine now.
He's getting his way around it.
I was trying to get a picture of him earlier on. I was just stood up beside him and I didn't get into the cab with him and he refused to look at me. But I did the old and he looked round and I just snapped him.
Got him. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I mean, cab controls, it's a Class Series cab that's on it for the combines. It's the same as Class combine cab. It's the same track system that you use on Class combines as well. Full LED, full monitors, cameras all the way throughout, touchscreen technology.
I'm not saying I would like a go on it for, I know I would probably destroy something, but either mark's really, really good or it must be fairly
No, it's
okay
fairly
to
simple.
drive.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's no mark. Just joking.
John, I'm not wanting to speak out of turn or anything, but since we've come over here, obviously from Northern Ireland, and we took a wee look around, it's very strong Grimmy country.
Yes.
There's a lot of Grimmy machines.
That's correct.
And if I'm right in saying at a time you would have been responsible for a few of those as well, or putting out here, but times have changed and now at Agricar you are going with this brand of machine here. So what else do they have to offer? Is it just the big 4-row or?
As far as the Ploeger goes, it's the 4-row self-propelled. It's that machine. That's the self-propelled option that we've chosen to take on and promote and push to sell.
So you yourself are a spud specialist, if you get such a thing. I'm a spud specialist too, but a different kind.
On the plate.
Boiled.
Boiled master fried.
But Scotland, I am blown away. Like, we are pretty much beside the Tay estuary.
Correct.
What do they talk about this Golden Mile thing? What's that about?
Golden Mile is it's a term used for all the farms that sort of run from Dundee up to Arbroath, Montrose. They call it the Golden Mile. It's the best of land. A lot of big farmers in the area. They work the land very well. You get the best return out of the land, and this is why they call it the Golden Mile.
Well, I was chatting to just one of the guys earlier on. They were actually ploughing in the last field, so they were literally in behind the harvester. They were ploughing flat out. They'd stopped for their piece, as it's called here.
That's it.
And just got chatting to them a minute or two, and the guys were saying the drill would be in straight away, and they were just saying from his perspective, loved the 4-row harvest. They just said it was effortless and it was running around doing the same job as two machines last year. Is it just running pretty much like a conventional machine, or?
It does. It runs very much like a standard trailed harvester or 2-row self-propelled harvester. The difference with that is it's basically like having two trailed harvesters running side by side. So you've got the running gear on two units working completely side by side. It's full width, that's why it's 4 metres wide, so you can take so much soil up to protect the crop. There's enough sieving area to get rid of that soil once it's further up the machine, clean it up, and then when you come up into the hopper, you'll see how clean the potatoes are. You know, they're ready just to get a wash and bang straight in the supermarket.
What's happening there behind you is something I particularly think is really cool with it now. It's the fact that you've that big bin, he's able to keep moving, you know. That's
where you gain advantage. Farmers are often looking for ways to minimise downtime. And the biggest way to minimise downtime is just exactly what's happened there. The trailer can pull out in front, he can keep digging, he can get into the next row, he's ready to go. If he's in the wrong place for putting the elevator in the box, it doesn't matter, he can keep digging. It's only going into the hopper. Then he gets into the right place, then they can release the hopper and away it goes.
Another thing that's very popular here, all the trailers have the wee platform that comes up for the guys to stand to level out the boxes. I see a lot of Gardener trailers.
Yeah.
Are they a local trailer?
Yeah, they're a local company. They're based at Carmelli, just up the road.
That explains that, because nearly everyone is one of those.
Yeah, there's a lot of Ronnie Gardner's trailers here. He makes a good job. It's local, and people buy local if they can.
Absolutely. Back to the Ploeger. Hope I can't. I hope
Well
I'm
done.
more than that, anywhere near right, because I have tried. I'm not asking the exact price, but I mean, realistically, what are we talking here? We're $500,000 plus.
Yeah, spec can change at various. You know, it's the same as buying a car. You can buy a basic car, you can buy a full spec.
You know, what are we talking on spec? This is an interesting question. Could spec put 50 grand on it or 100?
100.
Honestly?
Honestly. You can change the price of that by 100 grand.
So we could start just over 500 and end up anywhere up heading towards 7 likely.
Yeah, probably.
If we want it.
If you wanted everything on it.
Can they do onions?
Yeah, you can change the front end of the machine. They can change the modules in the machine so that it is adaptable to suit different crops.
And what is the wearing parts really? Is there much, you know, on a yearly basis? Is it just webs and?
Things like shear blades, support rollers, rollers in the cleaning system, because if there's a lot of stone content, depending on the field you're in, you can get a lot of stone damage because everything's rubber covered to protect the crop and to ensure that the tatties go through without getting damaged. Because as soon as they get hot boxed and put into the packers, if they see signs of bruising, bang, it's rejected and thrown back at you, and then it feeds the cattle, and that doesn't make any money.
So those parts, bottom line, they're made to wear.
Yeah, there is a cost every year servicing and keep maintaining the machines, but you have to weigh that up against the value of the crop. It's a high value crop. You can make a fortune or you could lose a fortune.
Yeah.
Quite easy, just on how the market's going. At the minute we've got a glut of potatoes because of the way the weather is. They've got big bulky crops, so that'll drive the price down. So it's supply and demand.
Understand.
Yeah.
Well look, John, thank you very much for taking a minute or two coming up and
More than
talking
welcome.
to us about the machine. It is genuinely fascinating.